Hello Virgos and Happy New Year and welcome to the Angel Cooperative channel. My name is Liza Mariani and I'm here to do your monthly tarot horoscope for January of 2020. Happy New Year and welcome to the new decade of the 20s. So exciting. Also a reminder that this reading is for all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs in the sign of Virgo. And also to check out the other signs in your chart because you may find other messages or other readings may resonate with you more or bring extra clarification to what's going on for you this month. All right, so let's see what we have coming in for Virgos. Okay, let's see. We have the Seven of Cups reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Nine of Cups reversed, and also the Four of Wheels, which also means the Four of Pentacles in other decks. We also have the Page of Wands reversed as your overall energy for this month. A lot of reversals, but you know, sometimes that there are important messages that you need to hear. So let's see what we have, other clarifications and messages we have for Virgo for this month with using the old style Lenormand deck. Let's clarify the cards we have. We have the Lady, the Stork, the Lady, another lady, the younger lady, and we have the Key. So interesting. And we also have the Fox reversed as your overall energy. I'm also going to pull a few runes for you guys to bring further clarifications to the cards that are down on the table for Virgo for the month of January. Let's see what we have. Interesting. Okay. I also quickly want to pull a crystal to see what healing energy you need to focus on for Virgo for the month of January. Oh, beautiful. We have flower agate, which is a beautiful healing stone and also is a great stone for manifestation. So I do feel like there is a lot that you're trying to manifest, especially as this year begins and also for the month of January. So I do feel like this year there's going to be a lot of big changes coming your way. And I do feel like this flower agate is going to help you get put into the right direction and manifesting what it is that you want to bring into your life for 2020, and not just for 2020 but also for January. I feel like this stone is a beautiful healing energy, but it also it comes from Madagascar, and it also will help you with connecting with what it is that you need to manifest and putting you on the right path. I do feel like its energy is really good with that. And it's interesting because we have all these reversals. So I feel like there is some major shifts that are happening here in your life right now. And of course, it's to allow these new things to come into play. So of course, with transitions and with changes, sometimes things can be a little bit topsy-turvy and a little bit confusing. So especially with the Page of Wands reversed, the Page of Wands could be a fire sign energy, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. It could be somebody that you're dealing with, or this could even be some heated conversations, arguments. It could even be where things can be a little bit feeling like there is some, I don't know, it's like almost like some negative energy that you're having to handle and deal with and be, I feel like it's almost like you're being proactive about what it is that you're handling and dealing with, because you're having to be stern, or it is even not even just stern. I feel like you're having to stand your ground, and because you're going to have to almost be protective, or it could even be that you're dealing with somebody who's being a little immature, and this energy is of somebody who is looking to be forceful, and they could, especially because we have the fox reverse. So I feel like this is somebody who's doing something a little underhanded, and where, it could be it could be a fire sign energy, or it could even be just somebody that you're dealing with in your environment who is, I do feel like they have this sense of wanting to take control and wanting to be a little pushy in order to do it. So, of course, when the Page of Wands is reversed, I feel like it's, they're going about it in a really immature and irresponsible way. So, I don't feel like this is your energy. I mean, maybe for some of you Virgos, but I do sense that you're having to handle this situation in a way that is allowing you to make these changes and make these shifts that are coming into play, especially since we have the movement rune here as we start out the month. And the movement rune is about moving in a different direction. And we have the Seven of Cups, and it's all about choices and, options that are being presented to you, but sometimes the options are not always the best options, or maybe it's seeming like no matter which way you go, you're coming to the same conclusion. So I do feel like that's also, what's coming into play. We do have the lady here, and she's having to, almost like stand up for herself. And, not just in a way that she has to stand her ground, but I feel like she's having to make the choices and the decisions for herself. And keeping that in mind, that she needs to move in a direction that is going to benefit her. But, it's like almost like none of the options that are being presented to her are honestly great options. But she has to make a choice nonetheless. And, whichever choice that she makes, which this could be you, I believe, is, even if you're not female energy, I do feel like this is, a time that you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone and actually make these choices, even if the choices are not something that you would necessarily think of making, like maybe even a year ago. It's like right now you that you're being presented with this and you have to make a choice. It could even feel like you're being forced into making a choice right now, where it's almost like you're backed up against a wall and you have to decide because of the actions of this Page of Wands energy, where somebody's being a little bit forceful, and somebody's being a little bit harsh and brusque, and having to handle that energy, but in a diplomatic way without, it's like almost like you don't want to lower yourself to their level, where you're handling it in a very calm and mature way, but that no matter which way you go, it's not something that you would be happy making these choices or making these decisions, but that you almost don't have a choice. And we also have here the Knight of Cups reversed along with the Stork. So I do feel like there could be a situation with somebody who you're, they're coming towards you with an empty cup. So I feel like this Knight, it could even be water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but not necessarily. I do feel like this is, they're coming towards you with news, which they're trying to dissuade you or trying to manipulate you. And I feel like it's by trying to pretend that they have, a full cup to offer you, but then in turn they actually don't. It's like really misleading, and you're kind of having to know that you need to handle this situation where you don't want to keep allowing this person to come into your life and keep offering you these false promises or this false energy where what their intentions are. Maybe you've been there already with this person, and it's just like it's already come full circle again, where you're there again in this position where you're like, okay, I know the game that you're playing and I'm not playing it. So I feel like that's also what's coming into play. The Stork here, the Stork is a lot about communication and messages, but it also could be some news that's coming into play. It could be happy news, but I do feel like since the the Knight of Cups is reversed, I do feel like it could be maybe he's trying to tell you some news that he thinks you want to hear, but it isn't necessarily news that you really care to hear, because you know that you have these choices to make. And you're willing to stand your ground this time around, and you're not allowing this person to manipulate you again with their false emotions, or the way that they're telling you that they care about you, when if they wouldn't be doing, like, their actions don't meet their words. And it's like their words are all like, oh yeah, I want to do this with you, I love you, I want to be with you, but then and then they end up going and doing stupid things that make you question what their true intentions are. So I do feel like that is what's happening here. And of course, Virgo, you have to really trust your better judgment and know that you have to make these choices for yourself and not put yourself aside. I feel like this is your time to feel, empowered and feel your confidence coming through, because I do feel like Virgo is finally starting to understand and see through the illusions that are being presented to you, because, the fox is reversed here. So I feel like you see through their game, and you're seeing through the nonsense and the lies and the trickery and, the things that they're telling you, and they're not actually coming through with the things that they're telling you. It's like they are just telling you what they think you want to hear, but they're not necessarily actually following through with the things that they say they're going to do. So that's kind of where it comes into play. And we also have here the Nine of Cups reversed and the Lady. And I do feel like it's interesting, because I do feel like for some of you Virgos, it's like you're feeling like a little bit disappointed in the things that you put a lot of work and effort into relationships, and where you put your trust and your love, and now you're feeling like you wasted that time and energy on something that never came to be. It never turned into something that you wanted it to turn into. With the Lady here, I feel like she is also feeling nostalgic over things that have happened in the past, also feeling a little bit sad, looking at your past self and the things that you did and the way that you gave of yourself when you felt like you never got anything in return. And of course, that's why the Nine of Cups here is reversed. So I just want to, let you know that this is, also your way of understanding that things have to change. And of course, it's opening your eyes to all of that. We have the Warrior rune that also landed on here. So with the Warrior rune, this is also being willing to not back down and to make sacrifices for yourself in order to make positive changes. And also going after what you feel is right. It's like you're the warrior. You're going to go and defend your honor. You're going to defend those that need to be defended. It may not even be just for yourself, but it may even be for others that are around you that are being victimized, or maybe even yourself. You're being victimized, where you're having to stand up for yourself and know that you need to walk away from something that is holding you back from being happy, and holding you back from, being on the right path in your life. And, you're wanting to bring in happiness and manifest things into your life that are going to be good. So, with that, I do feel there is, this positive movement in the right direction, but, with that comes sacrifice, and also comes, where you're going to have to hold on a little tighter to the things that are important. The Four of Wheels is here with the key, and I feel like this may be connected to your finances. It may even be where you're going to have to save up some money. You're going to be worried about money, how you're going to be spending for certain things, when it comes to you, breaking yourself away from a situation. It may not be that you're necessarily actually taking the actions right now. These are just things that you're going to be thinking through and you're going to be planning. You have the key together with it. So I do feel like it's very important that you focus on these things, especially for the future. Not that this is coming into play right now in January, but I do feel like this is something that you're going to have to really focus, like, 6 months, a year ahead of time, where these things are going to be important. So just keep that in mind. I know I do feel like the key is here for a reason, where you're having to focus in on, like what is right and having the answers, but also, maybe even, it's interesting because now that I just looked at this again, I also feel like it may be that you have to put some secret money away into like a secret account, or stash some cash away, so into an emergency fund for whenever you may need it. Not that you need it right now, but you never know in the future when you do. So keep that in mind. Whenever you have some extra cash coming your way, take it and put it into like a safety deposit box somewhere, or somewhere where you can, it's not going to be taken, and nobody will know about it, but it'll be there for you in the future if you ever do need it. It's kind of like saving up for the rainy day fund, or like when an emergency actually does happen, where you will need it. I don't feel like this is something that you're going to be actually needing right now. It's not like you're going to be in desperate need of money. But I do feel like saving money is definitely an important factor that you're going to have to be keeping in mind for the month, especially of January, and even as you go towards the end of the year. I feel like this is something that you're going to be slowly building up. It's not something that you're going to be doing just this month. I do feel like this is kind of the culmination of these events that are happening here. And especially with the Harvest rune, I do feel like there is going to be this, doing these, taking these steps and actually making the effort to save money and put things aside for emergencies is going to be very helpful for you, because you're going to actually need them. So I feel like that's important for you to know about, Virgo. I don't know in what relation or what aspect this may resonate with you, but I feel for each of you this is different. But for some of you, I feel like this is a very important thing to have this little nest egg, security, safe, like a safe hiding place for this, where nobody would know about it, only you. And of course you wouldn't want to let others know about it, because you don't want them to know how much you're putting aside and have there just in case of an emergency happening where you may need it. So I feel like that's going to be important for you, especially this month. So keep that in mind, Virgo. Let's see what other clarifications I can bring in for you guys for this month. Oops, this one just wanted to come out. And we have the Unfinished Symphony, but it's reversed. So I feel like you're coming to the end of the symphony, because you've been on this unfinished symphony over and over and over again. It's like a cycle that keeps repeating itself. And I feel like you're coming to the end of this cycle, where now you're finally understanding that you do have the right to walk away from something, especially when it doesn't feel right, or you don't feel like you're being treated. You don't feel like you're being treated the right way. It's like you're needing to stand up for yourself and end the cycle yourself without waiting for it to end on its own. I feel like it's time for you to step out of the cycle and create a different path for yourself. And that's why the Unfinished Symphony is reversed. It's like it's reminding you that you don't have to continue on this cycle, and you don't have to keep going through the same back and forth and the same arguments over and over again. I feel like it's like that it's time for you to make a change, and it's very important for you to actually do that. All right, let me also pull an archetype card for Virgo for the month of January. Let's see what card we have. Oop, this one just popped out. Oh, wow. Yes. And we have the Athlete card. And the Athlete card is, it's all about, it's not just about, taking care of like a physical way of, taking care of yourself. This is more about, having your strength come through of who you are and who you are as a soul and your spirit. And it says here dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So I do feel like you're having to, channel into your inner strengths, the things that you have about you that you don't normally show or you don't normally use on a daily basis. I feel like right now is the time to actually utilize them. And to make some positive changes, is in order to do that, you have to channel your inner strength. And I do feel like it's going to be necessary, especially within the coming months. Even this month, you're going to be needing it. But I don't feel like this is something that you're only going to need to use once. I feel like it's going to be coming out more and you're going to be feeling more empowered because of it. Like the athlete feels like they are on top of the world. Like they are strong and they are confident, and they can conquer anything and they can go after their goals and crush them. It's kind of like that same energy for you, Virgo, where you're knowing that now it's go time and you have to actually make the effort to make these changes for yourself, because you do want to feel that confidence and you do want to feel like you can conquer all the challenges that are coming your way. So I do feel like it's a very positive card for you, especially as you're finishing this cycle and you're actually making the changes that you need to make for yourself, especially for this month. All right. Well, Virgo, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and please comment below how this resonates with you. Also, don't forget to like and share these videos with those you know that can benefit from them, and also subscribe if you're not already subscribed. All right. Well, have a wonderful month, Virgos, and I will see you again in February. Take care. Bye.